Good Friday evening, everybody. How you doing? My name is Manny Vitale, host of My Fight Our War, and welcome to the weekend. I hope you guys had a great week and getting ready for an even better weekend. I know the weather here in Detroit, Michigan. Tell you, we were down into the 30s, upper 30s, 40s at our nighttime low, and lo and behold, today and up until I think next Wednesday, we are going to be flirting with the 70s again. So you know what that means? It's Harley time. Well, it's always Harley time. It's funny, a lot of you know I work at Wolverine Harley Davidson, and we'll get a lot of people coming in, and like, yeah, well, riding season's over. I'm like, it's over. Yeah, and some people do. I mean, and that's fine. It's your prerogative, man, as far as riding. Um, and some people will, yeah, I mean, unless it's sunny, 70 or above, won't ride. And me and the people I ride with, basically, we're riding no matter what. And so this weather is absolutely beautiful. And as we see, lo and behold, Tyler Thompson is in the house. Tyler, how are you, my brother? I hope you are getting ready for Monday because we are going to have one amazing show. And Tyler, since you are the first and only one on right now, I have been messing with the studio and I've been messing with a lot of my controls. So, Tyler, do me a favor, man. How's the mic sound? Because I did a little tweaking here, a little tweaking there, and it sounds a little different to me. But Tyler's mic sound good? Just got home. Well, New Zealand. Well, hi guys. Unfortunately, you're stuck with just me, because OG is home, and OG has been putting in a lot of hours. He's a nurse. Sounds good, Ange and Tyler. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Uh, Doing a little bit of finagling here with the mics and all that stuff, and like I said, what I hear compared to what you guys hear is totally different. So as long as it sounds good, we're good to go. But Ange, I really appreciate everyone coming on here, but our New Zealand family, also looking forward to Ange coming on as well. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you and OG have a time yet. I know she's been going back and forth with you, but I definitely can't wait to hear your story. You are gonna, as all of our family, with the stories that we share, it helps so many people. And so thank you so much. Tyler, my brother, what can I say? Tyler Thompson, he was on, I can't remember how long ago it was now, but Tyler was nice enough to come on My Fight or War months ago and did the show. I had a great time. Tyler has been tremendous as far as his support, not only obviously with My Fight or War, but also with Scar Nation, with Ty and everybody over there with Josh. So Ty's a busy dude. And what you got? I got my nose busted today. Hey, you know what, Tyler? It's not a party till something gets broke. And that sometimes is our nose. I remember playing hockey, man. This nose, this beak right here has been broke so many times. I played hockey all the way from just a little guy in third grade all the way up past high school into college, or past college into juniors playing hockey. And yeah, this old nose has been broke many times. And then in my crazy biker days and just the lifestyle I led, little fisticuffs were not strange to me. So yeah, there were times playing hockey. I remember I got hit one time in the game, and this is back in the day. Now, thank God, they've got a lot. And you can relate to this with the protocols they have to protect the athletes with concussions and close head injuries. Back when I played, we had our trainers and coaches, and God bless them, man. They meant well. And every now and then we would have trainers with sometimes doctors at the games, but I know that I was taken to the hospital at least 2 times by ambulance because of concussions playing hockey, and then I got driven a few times just from just getting nailed out there. And but like I said, thank God for our athletes now that our youngsters, they have the protocol where they do the concussion protocol and all that. Because man, I tell you, back then when I played, I mean, it was literally like the old days, man. It was like, how many fingers? 6. Okay, where you at? Disneyland. Okay, you're fine, and get back out there and play. But so, and you're going to be awesome, as far as sharing our stories. And sometimes, man, when we're dealing with a lot of the stories that we share, and this is going the whole spectrum for My Fight Our War. And just a quick recap here for a second. I actually was not coming on at all tonight, and I say that pretty much all the time when I don't plan on coming on. And things are getting so busy, and with the things that have been happening, traveling out of state to New York and Connecticut, and now getting things lined up. Like I said, I can't thank Ian Bick enough, along with our producer and our editor, Matt Cronin, and everyone in Connecticut, in New York, where we're going to be heading in the next couple of weeks. As it stands right now, we're setting up the guests in New York. When we get there, we've got the studio all lined up, and we're looking to do probably 10 shows in 3 days. And Matt Cronin, who's our producer editor, is going to take care of this. That's his deal, man. Matt is he's got his hands full. He's going to not only be producing and editing all the shows that happen when I'm in New York doing those shows, but those are going to be dropping once a week. And then on top of that, the live shows that we're going to be doing with Ange, Tyler, Steph, all the people who are coming on, obviously, are going to be done as well. So it's going to be a lot. And there's a lot more behind the scenes that's going on, even besides that. And I tell you, when I first started doing this, I remember talking with a lot of the hosts from other shows, and kind of getting a feel for what it goes into doing shows, podcasts, lives, producing, editing, and how far you want to take it. And once I did my first one, I knew I was hooked. Just absolutely knew it. And this is something that is an absolute passion. And I've been extremely blessed with the people that have come into my life that have been there to help along the way when it comes to doing this. Like I said, I came into this blind, man, not a freaking clue. And I cannot thank Ronnie Dull enough, who is in the media here in the Detroit metropolitan area, and is extremely well known. Her credentials are incredible. What she has done and is continuing to do in the social media world. She wears so many hats, and I've always been a fan of Ronnie's ever since I saw her on, I think it was Channel 2 News, and then just all the other endeavors that she's been part of. She don't play, man. Ronnie is as tough as nails, and I've always respected her from the first time I saw, what she does and how she does it. So, coming into doing this, like I said, I never went to school for social media, for any type of any of this public speaking, zero. But what I did was I knew I had that passion and drive, and I knew I wasn't going to give up. And what I did is a lot of studying of people, shows, podcasts, hosts, guests, everything that went along with it. And the one thing I said I would never, ever do was be something that I'm not. And I even said that when I first started My Fight Our War. I said, some people aren't going to like me, my style, how I do things, but that's me. And when I first started, I did have someone who came on to help at the beginning, who had a shit ton of experience, not only as an actor, producer, and all that stuff, but was generous and nice enough to come on and offer to help. And of course, I jumped at it. What I knew from the beginning, that I had to change. And just like with addiction and all that, everything in our lives change. And, as far as my attitude, my style, everything, my my whole life changed with sobriety. In the past, things would have come up in my life, whether how serious or not, whether it was personal, professional, whatever it may be. If there was things that got a little rough, a little bit frayed, it was just like, whatever, I don't care. And just whatever happened, happened. When I started my fight or war, I had a very clear vision of what I wanted my fight or war to be, the direction I wanted to go in. And even though I was clueless as far as anything about it, I knew that I wasn't going to let anyone or anything or anybody's comments change the direction that I wanted to go in. Now, that being said, I definitely took the advice that I got from everybody. Man, I was like a sponge, and I still am. When I hear stuff, I listen and I learn. And but what I do is I stay true to what I said. I will take different comments, different pieces of different things, and I'll add it on to my style, but I will never stop being me. And sometimes that's rough around the edges. Sometimes it's a lot of things. But I always said that be yourself, be authentic, be real. The one thing I really caught on to right away was sometimes what happens when this camera turns off and the mic's off and these lights are out. It's amazing the change in people. And I never wanted that. I spent most of my life down the wrong road and being something that I didn't want to be. So again, all the people that I was on the show when I first started doing this, can't thank them enough. And then when I go back to Ronnie, she was nice enough to meet with me and discuss all of this right here. Before any of this existed, it was just up here. It was just an idea and a thought. And I remember we went and met for coffee and just started talking. We were there probably, I don't know, a couple hours minimum. And I just felt that fire burning. And I was like, man, this is it. And I told her, this is what I want. And she said, really? Because it's extremely hard. It's very competitive if this is something that you want to do for a living. And I told her, this is what I want. And she goes, that's good. And she said, prove it. I mean, it was like, whoa. I mean, that's Ronnie. That's one thing I love about her. It's like in your face. You're not going to sugarcoat shit with Ronnie. It is what it is. If you're going to say something, you better back it up. Don't just sit here and talk a pretty game and think you're going to pull it over on her ever. So I said, she goes, prove it. She goes, when you're doing something like this, you have to be doing it 24/7. This is your life. You need to be behind this with these on, looking into that camera, putting this mug out there every day. She goes, if you don't, she goes, someone else will. And it's not a competition. Don't get me wrong. It's not a competition as far as to gain publicity and notoriety and fame and fortune, all that. What she was getting at is if you want something bad enough, you focus at it and you do it. You don't just talk shit, you do it. Because if not, you sit back on the sideline and take a break. Someone else who's working harder at the same thing is going to start taking stuff that you want because it's going to shift. And it took me a while to get that because, again, not knowing anything about it. So there's times where, just like in life with all of us, you don't feel good. You're tired. You're maybe sick. It's like, I said, I'm going to take some time off. And that's what I was doing tonight. And all of a sudden I was like, bullshit. No. And I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here swinging a sledgehammer. I'm sitting here talking to you amazing people. Tyler, Ange, Lori, how you doing? Amanda. And, and thank you guys for coming on and sharing your time with me. Definitely appreciate it. And I just basically wanted to come on and chit chat just for a few. I mean, this is my, I sent a post out. I don't know if you guys saw it. I shared it on my personal page as well as our family page of my exciting life. And now we all know back in the crazy party days, totally different. But I had a picture of me at my wildest, just crashed with my wonder dog Susie laying on me, and that's pretty much it, man. When it comes to the like here Friday night, man, that's what I planned on doing. But seeing that, it just made me realize that I remember in the past, just partying like a rock star and then feeling like that and looking like that, for a couple of days just because of that. But now it's being that exhausted from doing such positive things, man. And my sister Lori in Athens, Alabama, along with Boston 2%, along with everybody else, my brother Ian Bick, Matt Cronin, Dan and Don from Hard Knocks, Brad McLeod at Silver is cool and all that stuff. All the different people that have shows and are hosts, and Cat and Sober Patrol, just all the others. I was told before how much work it is, and it really is. And I have so much respect for everyone who does this, and I really do. I don't have OG here to go through all the comments and all that stuff, and I'm not really going to be on here long at all because I actually am going to get a little shut-eye tonight. 4:30 comes around pretty early, and getting up, hit the gym, and I work on Saturdays. But like I said, I did just want to come on, just say hi, chit chat a little bit to my family, and just like Lori. I mean, I don't have to tell you, say anything to Lori about hard work and all that. Lori, I'm sitting in Athens, Alabama, has been kicking ass for years, and her fight against addiction and helping so many people. And it just so happens my brother Boston 2%, that dude. You talk about putting boots to the ground. That's Boston 2%. Along with, just like I said, all of us, man, up and moved and went right down to Athens. And as you talk about stirring the pot, well, Lori, I'm so happy for you guys and everything you're doing. And, I'm very grateful and blessed for what we're doing here because now we're getting the opportunity to travel. This whole bit with New York, it's not just a one and done. We actually now, along with our producer Matt Cronin, and thanks to Ian Bick as well, every time we shoot to New York and Connecticut, we've got a studio. It's basically like our second studio. That while we're there, we're recording between Ian and Matt and everybody, getting guests and everything lined up. We've got everything set in New York, so it's going to be a lot of traveling there. We're a lot of contacts as well, and also Lori going to be flying to Athens, Alabama in June, and as everyone knows, Skylar Ray, the show that we do on Wednesdays, Music and Mayhem. We're going to be doing work together with Skylar Ray as far as going to his concerts. A lot of times before the show, he'll actually do lives for an hour, doing talks with the crowd and like meet and greets and all that. And we're discussing that because now he was gracious enough to involve me into this now, where we're going to be going with Skylar to his tour dates. In some fashion, it's not even lined up yet how we're going to do it, but it came up just in, hey, that'd be something. Instead of, it went from, hey, that'd really be something to, you know what, we're going to make it happen. So I'm very honored and privileged to be able to do that with Skylar Ray and his upcoming next tour, to be able to get in front of the crowd and do some talking and discussion and Q&A with that is just going to be intense and so much fun, man. In fact, Tim and Kayla are in Houston right now to go see Eminem, and things are in the works as far as future guests. So I'll just leave it at that. And, to see, let you know who you very well may be seeing on here as well with myself and Skylar Ray. But other than that, it's just so amazing. So just sitting back, like I say, every now and then it's good. Take that breath, just sit back, take that breath and just, you know, when we were dealing with active addiction and all that, it was just nonstop war and that we have going on up in here. And it's very ugly. It's very violent. And it just takes a toll on you physically, emotionally, spiritually, man. We know it does. And sometimes it's this vicious whirlpool of hell that you don't think you're going to ever get out of. But you can, and we have. And God bless us all, man. Like I've said many times, we are freaking warriors. We truly are. And the thing that is so cool is we don't leave it at just that. Then we go in and support others and help others and put that hand out and pick each other up. We stumble, we fall, but we get up and motivate, support, and get each other going. And, so it's okay to be proud of yourself. And no, it's not narcissistic. And no, it's not being stuck up. No, know what it's doing? It's gratitude. And, we've earned it. You've earned it. Like I've said a lot of times, just take that second and, just kind of look around. The silly things, like I do it all the time. I'll look around, like right now, looking around at the studio, the mics, the lights, the cameras, the keyboard, Susie chewing on my foot, the wires, the water, just all this meaningless stuff that people would think is meaningless is something that means so much to me right now. Because 5 years ago, when they told me, man, you're going to be dead in less than 6 weeks when I was in the hospital, I never would have seen any of this. It was over. It was done. And I've been blessed to still be here, be alive, and not only alive, but healthy and sharing this amazing story with all of you. So when I look down, I see that keyboard and I see the wires and the headphones and the mics and the lights and all that stuff. And I see the names and I hear, the phone calls, the posts, the text, the stories. Man, let me tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that. So every now and then, because even in, as we know in recovery, there's times where it's like, oh, okay, it's starting to get a little rocky, start to get a little afraid. Everyone gets afraid. People without addiction, people that are so-called normal lives, right? Whatever the hell that is, are afraid. It's okay to be afraid, man. They're emotions. The thing that's so cool about us is in our past, as soon as we had that little bit of turmoil, we had that little bit of rocky road, what did we do? We turned to something else to numb those feelings. Now, man, we just attack them head on. And we do whatever we need to do the right way to come out on top. And man, it is just, it's a beautiful feeling. And, I'm a firm believer. You get what you give and you give what you get. For a very long time, I deserved every freaking thing that happened to me. Now, when I was told stuff during my active addiction, it was everyone's fault but mine. Everybody's fault. It was your fault that I was having a bad day, that I was drinking, doing drugs. It was everyone's fault because of, you know us. When you're dealing with addiction, man, you're dealing with master manipulators. But now it's okay to look in that mirror and say, hell yeah, you did it. You did it. We all had help along the way. We know we still have help. But the bottom line, the person looking back at you is number one. It's okay to put yourself first, because if you don't, you're going to be last. And you're not going to be any good to the person next to you. And it's hard to do that. We all know that. It's very hard. But Mike said, man, holy shit, how you doing, brother? Great to see that. Every time, too, that I see a name, and especially if it's someone who I haven't seen or spoken to in a long time, as soon as I see that, it sparks memories. And they're very happy memories. So I hope you guys are having, let's see, you're invited to, what does that say, Lori? Addiction Rally 2025. That's where we're going to be heading in Athens, Alabama in June. So looking forward to that. And what also things that that I bring up, because last night, I had date night with my mom, and I've always been a mama's boy. I'm very proud of it. And with the changes in my life and the faith and all that stuff, I was born and raised Catholic, and there's a place here in Detroit, Michigan, the Father Solanus Casey Center, the Capuchins in Detroit on Mount Elliott. And it's a very special place for me. I go there as much as I can. And one of the brothers from the Capuchins came to St. Michael's Church here in Detroit, Michigan area, and did a play about Father Solanus, who is the next step away from becoming a saint. He is blessed right now. Blessed. He's vulnerable, then blessed that he becomes a saint. And my faith has gotten me through this. My faith is keeping me going and motivated and pushing along. And I got to, like I said, date night with Maud, because her faith in her son, me, has been tested, like all of our families has, from the things we've done. And now sharing these moments with my mom, sharing moments with my family, sharing moments with my friends that I can actually remember. And it just means the world to me. Before my issues got out of hand, I've always been family, family, family. And that's why my Fighter of War, from day one, I didn't want it to be considered a group association. From day one, I said, no, man, we're a family. And it just took off. That's how everyone talks about us. They're like, hey, man, that family over at my Fighter of War. And it's so cool hearing other people say that. But for quite a while, addiction stole, my family. And it was because of me. My fault. I had to own it. Still own it every day. And but now, last night, just sitting there, seeing, I'd be watching a play, and then I'd look over and I'd look at my mom's face, and just seeing the joy in her face. It's like I was taking pictures with my eyes and my mind, because I don't ever want to forget that look. Only because of me, that the same wonderful mother I had in tears many times, breaking her heart and hurting her so much because of the things I did. And now, by the grace of God and the hard work of where I am with sobriety and the things I'm doing now, doing this and spending time with my mom and my family and all that. And like I said, my mom is very religious and has a ton of faith, and she's instilled that into me. But seeing her face last night is something that it was such a beautiful experience. And yes, I just wanted to share that a little bit with you guys as well. But other than that, man, I really don't have that much more, except saying I love you guys. And I appreciate everything. Some people say, yeah, you already said that. And yeah, we have. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with saying it again. Sometimes we, when we're angry and upset, we are pretty quick to lash out. But when things are going good, or someone's doing something very positive or uplifting way, what's wrong with telling them, man? What's wrong with telling someone, hey, I appreciate you? It doesn't make you weak or silly or whatever, by telling somebody how you feel. Like I said, man, when you're pissed off and you're letting those anger take over, and that vengeance comes spewing out, man, I know for myself, man, I've said a lot of very hateful things because of the wrong time, wrong place, and then add addiction and the things. The thing is, too, man, once you say something, you can say you're sorry all you want, but once it's said, it's said. And so, I try to, as much as I can, when I'm dealing with family, I'm dealing with friends. When I was with Detroit Police, and also work in EMS, unfortunately, especially EMS, and I worked ER at St. John, Maine, in Detroit. Um, we work in EMS too as a ER tech, or EMT. We'd have a lot of fatalities, and you talk about a terrible situation. First, seeing the actual scene itself, no matter what it could be, but then the family is there. Family shows up, and having to notify the family with the doctors that, hey, your loved one is no longer here. And that loved one could be a mother, father, sister, brother, whoever it may be. Now you're telling these people that their loved one is dead. They'll never see him again. They'll never talk to him again. As cold hearted as that sounds, that's life, man. They're gone. And I can't, that old thing, man, I wish I had a dime for every time I heard this. I'd be a billionaire for every time I heard someone say that. Unfortunately, I was involved with a conversation, letting a family member know that someone passed away, their loved one passed away. Just hearing, I wish I had another moment. I wish I could have said this. I wish I could have said that. So say it now. I've had people say, well, they know how I feel. Okay, yeah, they do. They probably do. Your family, friends, they know that you care about them. They know that you love them. But what's even better is when you hear it. What's so hard? You know what, man? I appreciate you. I love you, man. I say it all the time. And in the past, there was a lot of alcohol and drugs talking and stuff spewed out, and it was just words. Now, the words are backed up by 100% feeling, dedication, meaning, and reality. And especially when it comes to family. Family doesn't, as we all know, doesn't have to be blood to be family. I have people that I'm not related to blood-wise that they're my family. And just like all of you, that's what I consider. And that's like, I'll have people say, I saw this and that. What do you love them and all this shit? You've never met them in person. They've been part of my fight at war for 2 years. You're setting posts, you're doing live shows and all that stuff. You don't have to sit there and have someone sitting in front of you to develop a relationship, or and that's what happens when we get so personal. Look at all of us. I remember when I first started my fight or war, looking at some of the stories that our family members were sharing with total strangers. I started my fight or war on January 9th, 2023. Not a clue what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to do something. And next thing you know, within the following days, weeks that were coming, all of a sudden I'm watching the numbers go up as far as our family growing. And people are, putting a picture up, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm so-and-so. I've been sober for 2 days. I've been sober for 30 years. I've been sober. And then all of a sudden you get another post. So listen, man, I'm afraid I'm having, some very bad feelings right now. I'm having issues with family, friends, whatever it may be. I'm afraid of a relapse. Some of these triggers are starting to happen. And next thing you know, I'm watching as the board, the posts are just lighting up. There, instead of like 1 or 2 comments, there's like 20 comments. Total strangers 2 weeks ago. My fight or war didn't exist. Now, within a week, 2 weeks, this person who just posted it or just typed out a post said, listen, I'm having a bad night. I'm really afraid of a relapse here. And within minutes, and I swear to God, minutes, I'm looking and there's a reply. You got this. We're here for you. Message me. Here, hit me up and message me. besides Messenger, man, right there. Here's my phone number. Call me right now. I'm here for you. We'll listen. And I'm watching this take place. Again, not knowing what I was doing, but seeing this beautiful family develop in front of my eyes. It was amazing. We were sitting here sharing, just as we do now, sharing stories to each other, people we've never met, telling our painful personal stories that some of our family and friends have never known about us. But yet we know within this elite fraternity that we have an addiction that you know what I'm feeling. I mean, not exactly, but we all can relate to that hell that is addiction. I know that someone out there that's talking to me has gone through those terrible nights, those days, that dark tunnel of shit, hell, cold, pains, fear that we all know that's addiction. And then that other thing starts creeping into our mind, which is addiction saying, you're all alone. No one cares. And it gets deeper and scarier. And next thing you know, you're not alone. We're here for you. We're family. We love you. The fight is on. My fight, our war began. And here we are to this day. And it's because of you guys. Trouble. Karen, love you, man. And tell Phyllis I said hi. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Phyllis, for watching. Look at Karen is someone I've known for a long time in the biker world, aka Trouble, and her beautiful mother, Phyllis, who I had the pleasure of meeting, and watched the show. So, Phyllis, I hope you're having a great night, and I hope you have a great weekend as well. And Trouble, I hope everything's getting better for that motor home and everything. So, have a great weekend, you guys. And so, the birth of My Fight Our War, the birth of all of our extended family. I've said many times, man, with all the other amazing organizations that are out there, My Fight Our War, we're not inventing the wheel, all right? We're just helping along the way. And what we're doing, what I want to do is sometimes people will look at addiction and they'll talk about it like it's taboo. It's not. I've talked to some people that have loved ones who are dealing with addiction. It's scary, man. For not only the person that's involved with it, who has the active addiction, but the people who are the loved ones, the family, the friends, coworkers, associates. They're seeing someone they love, lives get just taken away piece by piece, day by day, and it's just one of those things that we just can't let happen. And like I said before, addiction is not a death sentence. Look at us. We're here. Addiction is a coward. Addiction is a word. Addiction can kiss my ass because we're not going to bow down to addiction anymore. And we're here as a family. We're here as, like I've said before, I've had people kind of give me shit when I said, I'm proud to be in this family. And because the alternative is what's happened to some of our family and friends who are no longer here. So I am proud to say we are part of an elite fraternity. We are My Fight Our War, all of us. We are AA. We are Right. We support our addiction. We are Sober Patrol. We are Hard Knocks. We are AA, Al-Anon, FAN, CARE. We are all of those and more. But the bottom line is we are all family. And we need to stick together. We need to support each other, motivate each other. This shit of, it's so easy to push someone down when they're trying to get up. But you know what? When someone's trying to get up, it's a little bit harder to pull them the rest of the way. That's what we need to be. That's who we are now. And we need to share that. And that's what we do, man. And it's such an honor and a blessing to be part of this. Trisha, she's like, again, the amazing blessings that I have, the amazing people that I've met since doing this. January 20, or I'm sorry, January 9th will be 2 years for My Fight Our War. 2 years. January 27th, for me, is going to be 5 years of sobriety. And again, that's also right around the time when I was told by my doctors when I was at St. John or Henry Ford, Maine, you're going to be dead in less than 6 weeks. Here I am. And I will never stop fighting. And I know that I've got an amazing family. Yeah, we all do. And we're going to be sharing. And speaking of sharing, Tricia, she's going to be on our show as well. I have been pushing and pushing and pushing for everyone who wants to, at their own time, to come on our show. If you want to, there is no pressure to do this, to come on and share a story. I get messages every day. I mean, every day, text messages, messenger about people asking about being a guest on the show, telling their stories and all that. And then as we start to pursue it a little bit, the closer it gets to doing it, it's scary. It is a scary thing to sit here in this seat, look into a camera, and tell people the most painful part of your life. And it's not easy. So everyone who's done it, you've got all my respect and love. And to everyone else, you get our positive thoughts and prayers, because it's not easy. But the thing is, man, it's an amazing, beautiful feeling when you share and you start to get feedback from people saying, hey, listen, I heard your story. I can relate to this. Or I heard your story. It's something you said really made me look at this a little bit differently, and at the way I was looking at a loved one who is dealing with addiction. And again, addiction is not, needs to be looked at not as a death sentence. It's not taboo. And that's how some people, when you're talking about, they actually get quiet. It's like, yeah, we've got a family member who's dealing with alcohol and drugs, but we don't talk about that outside these walls. We don't talk about it outside our family. I had a family that I was talking to that said just that to me. Yeah, we don't talk about it. And I said, well, okay. Well, by not talking about it, you just put a beer in his hand. By not talking about it, you just put a needle in her arm. And the next time we do talk about it, we'll be at their funerals. Uncomfortable as it may be, which would you rather do? And every day is a gift. Every day is learning. Every day is living. Every day is loving. Every day is a gift. Just like I said, tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday's a memory. Today's the present. That's why they call it a gift. So you guys are absolutely amazing. I love you guys, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything about what we've done so far in almost 2 years as a family. The support that we give each other, the positive things, the motivation, and all that means everything. And as I don't every show, please, if you want to come on, hit OG up, hit Lynn up on her messenger. We started doing it now. Things are happening with Matt Cronin, who's our producer, our editor, and along with the new studio now in New York and all these things, we are actually scheduled. We're doing one show a week. Every single Monday, we're doing shows. We're scheduled till going into February now, ready in the last couple of weeks. And that's just counting here. In New York, the other studio in New York, we're going there. We're doing 10 shows in 3 days that are going to be done as well. So we're making a difference, everybody. And it's all because of you, your stories. If it wasn't for you, I'd be sitting here talking to myself, which I do quite a bit, and I got no problem with that. So again, if you know somebody, if it's yourself, family, friends, or someone else, and you know what, if it's someone in your life it's not you, if it's a loved one, and maybe you want to come on, let's talk about you. This affects people who are dealing with loved ones as well. I mean, I've got people by my brother Nancy or Rick and Nancy. Again, not blood, but my brother lost their son Kevin, and I've known him since he was born, and he lost his battle against addiction. And I had Rick and Nancy on the show, and from a parent's perspective of what they went through and continue to go through. It's not like, okay, it's over. Hell no. It's a hell that doesn't end. But I'd like to get their perspective. So if you've got someone that's dealing with something and you want help, you want to come on as a guest of, let's say, a mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, whatever, coworker, of somebody that you're worried about, and maybe you're worried about saying the wrong thing, not saying something that you should say. What do I do? How do I act? All these things that when you're dealing with addiction like we do, it's like, well, what do you mean you don't know? It's easy. Well, when you're in it like we are now, yeah, because we've been in it, we do it every day. But just think back when we took that first step, that very first step, which is admitting that, yeah, there's a fucking problem. That first, how terrified it was, how we had to sit there, and all of a sudden, by saying those simple words, I've got a problem. Terrifying as hell. But then remember, after we said it, how it was just like, and again, I can only speak for myself, but after I freaking said it and actually meant it, I swear to God, it was like that. I can breathe. I can breathe. And then the next breath and the next words were truth and facing my demons, facing the ugly truth of addiction, facing the things that I've been hiding all these years. And what I do, I throw all my shit right out there to you guys. Good, bad, or ugly. I mean, like me, love me, hate me. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I don't expect people to be like me, and I will never change and be like someone else. We all have to be our own individuals. We all have to take care of number one. Bottom line, man. It's okay to be selfish when it comes to this. And you guys have a great night. Have an awesome weekend. I am going to take care of little Susie girl. We're going to cuddle up, watch a little TV, and hit the sack. And get ready for work. Hit the gym in the morning and count the days. It's a couple of weeks. It's November 1st. Going to be heading to New York and White Plain, New York, and off to Danbury, Connecticut. And it's going to be a great time. So Trisha, get ready. Looking forward to your show, all of your shows. Tyler, Lori, Amber. Let's see. And remember too, Karen, of course, Trouble, and Phyllis, and my brother Mike Sedmak, and from New Zealand. Tyler, I will be talking to you, brother, on Monday. Tyler Thompson's show. Amanda. And that's all I'm seeing on the comments here. But as myself and Skylar and Boston 2%, when we do some of these shows, it'll show up here, and some of the other ones won't. So if I have not said anything about you, it's because I don't see anything but the people I just mentioned. But just because by all means, I would never, we don't ignore anyone. All right, folks. Well, you have a great weekend, and chances are pretty damn good. Be coming on again tomorrow after work. So until then, man, I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Keep fighting a good fight. And you know what? Just you get a chance tonight, that person that maybe you've been thinking about a little bit, maybe just, hey, you know what? Drop them a quick line. Just say hi. Make their night. Just let them know that you love them. A little kind word goes a long way, man. I love you guys.